Hi. Welcome to the first ever podcast of me and James. I am your host, Olivia.
I'm your special guest, James.
We're here, probably gonna annoy you.
Yeah, we will.
So, the topic of today is reading Reddit posts discussing whether or not someone is a bad person. And then me and James will discuss whether or not we think they are a bad person.
Usually they are.
Yeah. So, do you want me to read the first one? Okay. Am I the bad person for walking out of the airport when I saw my husband's mom standing there with her luggage? I, 30-year-old female, don't have the best relationship with my husband's mom. Since day one, she tried to make remarks and compare me to her. She then tried to get on my good side and started overly praising everything I do, and sometimes even copying me. Like one time when she literally dyed her hair purple, just like mine. And when everyone pointed out how ridiculous she looked, she actually blamed me and accused me of trying to make a joke out of her. So, anyways, my husband and I took 2 weeks off work to go visit some places out of the country, tourism and other worlds. Thing is, I was the one who saved up for and arranged the trip. My husband was responsible for booking the tickets. My husband's mom wanted to come along and threw temper tantrums when I said no. She called, texted, sent people to talk to me into letting her come, even threatened to call the police and make some complaint up to get us to stay if she couldn't come. My husband said we should just take her, but I told him he was wrong to tell her about the trip in the first place. He gave me an ultimatum, said that he would go if she can't come, and I told him I'd gladly call his bluff, which made him take his words back and say, "Fine, I will tell her to stop it because we won't take her." Things got quieter, suspiciously quieter. The day after the trip came, we got to the airport at 2 p.m. My husband was walking ahead of me and was looking left and right like he was looking for someone. I asked him, but he didn't respond. He led me to the waiting area, and first thing I saw was his mom standing there with her luggage. I froze in my spot. I felt a cold wave washing over me, and I was fuming inside. She and my husband were hugging. That's when I quietly turned around and started walking towards the exit. My husband followed me while shouting to stop. He tried to stop me, but I told him off the harshest way possible. He tried to say I was overreacting and that his mom was there anyway, and I should let it go and not mess with the trip for us. I told him he and his mom could still go and that I was going home. I went home and sobbed into my dog's fur for several minutes. Turned out he booked her a ticket without me knowing. An hour later, came home yelling and raging about how pathetic and spiteful I was to walk out and go home and ruin the trip last minute. I told him he caused this to happen. He said that I was being so hard on his mom, it's ridiculous. I refused to fight anymore, but he kept on berating me and then called my family to tell them that the trip was canceled and that it was because of me. My family said that I shouldn't have ruined it for myself and should have sucked it up and done my best to enjoy. Did I overreact? James, thoughts?
Um, well, personally, if I told someone they weren't coming on vacation with me and then I saw them at the airport with luggage, like I would be very upset. Um, let's just say
In the
that.
safest way
In
possible.
the safest way possible, I would be very upset,
Hmm.
maybe a little violently inclined.
Yeah.
So, I think that was even an underreaction. Um, like I would have thrown hands.
Yeah, I
So,
think the next step here is divorce.
yeah,
Yeah. If my supposed husband bought a ticket for his mother to go on a vacation that I deliberately like did not want her to come on and that he had said that she wouldn't come on, I don't think I'd be married anymore.
me neither. Like, I wouldn't have been married in the first place because, like, ew, but, like
Yeah, like, this wouldn't have even come up in my life, but if it had, if this situation ever transpired, I think I would be divorced.
I agree.
Yeah, do you wanna read another one?
Okay. Um, oh, can't do that one. Or that one.
Love that.
Oh my.
This is the interval of James trying to find a Reddit post. It's going great.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay, I have to find it, you start reading it.
Okay. Okay, this one is titled, Am I the Bad Person for Throwing Them Out of a House That We Own? Son and future in laws decide to exclude his family from wedding. They thought son owned the house, not us. Right from the start, we have very good punctuation in that title, very clear and
Love
concise. I
that.
know exactly what is going on at all times. Okay. My wife and I bought a 4-bedroom house in Pennsylvania that my son lives in. Our son went to college in Pennsylvania and wanted to stay in the area, so we bought the house as a second home. We live in New Jersey and commute into Manhattan for work. We figured that he would have a place to live and we could visit every so often and spend some quality time together. We pay the taxes and services slash maintenance on the house. Our son pays for his groceries and the house utilities. All was going well for a few years. Our son meets a girl and they get serious. We met her and she seems nice enough. They announce their engagement and she moves into the house with our son. Now for the problem, the wedding. We hold a little get to know you barbecue at the Pennsylvania house. My son and daughter are there, as are our son's fiance and her parents and sisters. We all seem to be getting along well. My wife, daughter, and the fiance go into the house along with her mother and sisters and my son. A few minutes later, my wife and daughter come out and are really upset. They come over and tell me we are leaving and driving back to New Jersey. Why would anyone want to do that, like in the first place?
Who
I
would
try to
willingly
find
go back to New Jersey?
no, right? I try to find out what happened. Once we get back to New Jersey, they calmed down and told me that our son and his fiance, along with her family, don't want us at the wedding. According to what I was told, we're not their kind of people. I was livid. I called my son and asked him, I can't say that. This what was this about? He tells me that her family feel we are not good enough and will embarrass them at a family wedding and that we are all uninvited from the wedding. I'm sorry, this is really funny. I let a week go by to calm myself down and drive back to the Pennsylvania house. The new future in laws are in the house along with the fiance. It appears that they all moved into the house. They ask me why I'm there. I tell them that since we aren't inviting to the wedding, I was coming over to talk to my son. They tell me to leave their house. I lost it and told them that they had 30 days to get out. Tell my son I'm selling the house and he could find somewhere else to live with all of you. I go to realtor in town and list the house for sale. They call my son at work and tell him what I said. Apparently, they thought that he owned the house. He calls me and asks why I'm selling his house. I tell him I paid for it along with the taxes on it and it is mine. He was living there rent free, but since he doesn't want us in his new life, he has to get out. I tell him the same as I told his future in laws that they have 30 days to get out, then I'll get a lawyer and I'll get them evicted. Am I the bad person for taking a hard stance on this? He is my son, but the in laws seem to take over and we no longer count. Okay, right from the start, I seem to notice that they really care about living in Pennsylvania, and I just want to know why anyone would do that.
Yeah, first question brought up. What is with wanting to live in either Pennsylvania or New Jersey?
No, like there's better options nearby, people.
There's 50 states and you chose those 2? That's the first issue.
The second issue is this is just like really funny because like why would you tell someone you're not their kind of people? Like an entire family. Like if someone said that to me, I would once again feel violently inclined, to say the least.
Yeah. It's also very, you know, Disney Channel original movie, High School Bully. You're just not My kind of people. Like, okay, I know you're trying to be Sharpay Evans, but you will never be her.
It sounds like someone wanted a main character moment.
Yeah. In conclusion, not the bad person.
Not the bad person.
Yeah, if there was a house that I paid for and, like, paid the taxes on, I think I have every right to do with that house as I so wish.
I agree. I mean, I personally would never own a house, but, like, if I was in that situation.
Yeah, if I was a house owner, I'm not. But if I was, I think I could do what I want with the house.
Okay, next post.
Oh my god. Have to find one now.
Welcome back to our finding a post intermission.
Yeah. James, I think you should serenade them while I look for a post.
I do not think I should do that.
You know, you are a star member of the Iona Singers.
I do not think that should happen.
I think it is a possibility.
Okay, well, not everything can be possible.
Okay, what do you feel about this title for this one? Am I the bad person for telling my boyfriend that he can't date younger and then get upset about my budget apartment?
Wait, what do you mean your boyfriends can't date younger? Who was he dating?
I don't know, but it
Okay,
intrigues
I
me.
think we really need to read that one. Let me find it.
Okay.
How many like point things does it have? I'm trying to find it like scrolling
Um,
down.
how many point things? Like, hold up. This is what it has.
No, I mean the on the bottom.
Oh, on the bottom. There.
Okay. Okay, I found it.
Love that. Okay. So, am I the bad person for telling my boyfriend that he can't date younger and then get upset about my budget apartment? What does it mean? We're gonna find out.
I'm really excited.
I know. This seems like the most interesting one so far. I just gotta hope I don't like accidentally burp into the mic. If I do, guys, I'm so sorry. It happens. It's completely natural. We're all humans here.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least I hope we're all. James, I'm looking at you.
Why are you looking at me?
You're in the room. Just
Read your post.
so I recently got together with a guy from my hobby. First off,
What does that
what
mean?
does that mean? From my hobby.
What does that mean?
He asked me out first, and I had some doubts that we'd work together as a couple because of the age difference. He's 35 and I'm 22.
Lovely.
But why is it uh love that. Love that for you too. So in my apartment, since it's an old house that was originally a single family house, there isn't much soundproofing and the floors creak when people move. I've gotten used to the sound of the guy upstairs getting up at 4 a.m. since he starts work at 5. And the sound of the girls in the apartments either side of mine watching telenovelas till midnight, taking work calls all day, and having friends over on weekend nights. I know when I play music or have friends over, some of the sound leaks through the walls, so I'd never get upset about hearing my neighbors because it goes both ways. So, when my boyfriend started coming over more often, he had complaints about the neighbors, which put me in an awkward place. He wanted to go speak to them or have me text them, and I said no. For example, one of the early times he stayed over, we went to bed around 10. He wanted me to ask my neighbor to turn down her TV. I said she didn't have it that loud and she turns it off at midnight anyways. At 4 a.m., he got very irritated with my upstairs neighbor getting up and cooking breakfast. I said that he would be done by 5 because that's when his shift starts. At 7 a.m., he was still trying to sleep in And the neighbor on the other side had some work calls that he said he couldn't sleep through. I offered him earplugs and said, and he said he couldn't sleep with them in either. He wanted me to ask her to go quiet down. He had similar comments every time he heard someone else in the building just living their life, especially if it was when he was in bed. I got frustrated with my boyfriend and told him, you know, you can't expect to date a hot, young 22-year-old and not want to deal with a 22-year-old's living situation. I do not know if you realize, but wait, this is a normal apartment for someone my age. Hell, my neighbors are pretty great. Nobody's Nobody's throwing loud parties on work nights, nobody's having screaming fights, nobody's having babies. The hot young part was in sarcastic air quotes because those were his words, not mine. He got irritated and asked why I was bringing age into it. And I said it's because he can't both want someone so young and also want someone with house kind of money. And he was being so out of touch with how normal people live in their 20s. He got really irritated with me bringing age into it and even more annoyed when I'd respond with his neighbor complaints in the future with okay boomer or tell him that if he wanted to have a rich person apartment, he could pay for it. Am I the bad person for what I said to my boyfriend about my apartment? Thoughts?
No.
No.
No. That's just really funny.
Yeah. Um I'm just wondering why he's complaining about an apartment he doesn't live in.
I really wanna go back to the wording of the title
Yeah.
because telling my boyfriend that he can't date younger, first of all, that implies that he's dating, like, someone else
Right.
younger, like, and that's great. Um,
I don't want to see any 35-year-old. First of all, dating a 22-year-old or dating younger than a 22-year-old, that gets into uncomfortable territory.
very. Also, then get upset about my budget apartment. Just a lot of context is missing from that, and, like,
Yeah.
I know because it's a title, they have to summarize it, but that's just very great wording.
I wanna know what this hobby is.
Me
Like,
too.
I met this guy from my hobby. Like, how do you meet someone at a hobby?
Like, what is the hobby?
Yeah, is it like my hobby is, like I don't know, like, what's a hobby?
Like gardening.
Gardening, yeah. You're, like, outside gardening, and, like, this guy just walks up, like, onto your lawn and is like, "Hey, I love gardening." And you're like, "Oh my god,
Get out
let's
of like,
date."
"Oh my god, get out of my house."
Your hobby is cleaning your bathroom. He's just in your house. It's like, "Yeah, I met him at my hobby." "So what's your hobby?" "Oh, it's in my own house." It's like, "How'd he get in there?" "He just lives in the walls."
I didn't know that there were, quote unquote, 22-year-olds living situations. Like, I didn't know they just like generalized it by saying, like, oh, yeah, when you live in an apartment as a 22-year-old, you just kind of have to deal with this.
Yeah, it's a specific, like, 22-year-old experience that only they will ever understand. No one
Exactly.
else. And once you turn 33, oh my god, listen to me, that's the dyslexia kicking in. Once you turn 23, you just forget.
Valid.
Yeah. It's only when you're 22.
Okay, I'm gonna start looking for another post.
Perfect, love that. This is the intermission again, where one of us finds a Reddit post that we think is somewhat up to par. I like that my chair is squeaky.
Me too.
It really just fills in the silence.
Some of these, like, I want to do them, but I know I can't.
Yeah. This is a family-friendly PG show,
Unfortunately.
so we are keeping it very, Mickey Mouse level.
Okay, what about this one?
It said blowing up my husband like a bomb.
Okay,
Wait,
wait,
let me. Oh, I'm still not gonna be able to find that. Can you find it on my phone?
sure. I could just text it to you.
Yeah, just like send me the link for it. That might be easier.
Mhm. Okay, I sent it. Did you get it?
I have just received it.
Okay. Okay. So this post is titled, Am I the bad person for blowing up at my husband? Note, that is blowing up at my husband, not blowing up my husband.
As I mistakenly read it, I thought someone was physically getting blown up.
Anyway, am I the bad person for blowing up at my husband for lying to me about my sister and her baby leaving when he actually kicked her out? Now, I just
Drama.
want to know who her is referring to. Is he
Yeah.
kicking out the sister or the baby? Maybe both. Okay,
Maybe it is both, but then wouldn't you like say it's both?
we're gonna find
It's
out.
just the baby. The baby just gets kicked out.
My sister, 20 years old, got out of a terrible relationship and moved in with me and my husband and brought her 5-month-old son. She is dealing with a handful of issues from PPD to depression.
What's PPD?
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google that. You keep reading.
Okay. I asked my husband if he'd be okay with her moving in, and he said absolutely. Not just this, but he was the one who picked her slash
Postpartum depression.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Not just this, but he was the one who picked her slash brought her home. I don't know what that means. Um,
Um,
she stayed for 2 weeks and helped around the house. My husband started complaining about the baby crying, but a newborn is expected to cry, especially at night. He said it causes him stress, although I suggested he put on earbuds. He suddenly told me to forget it, and so I did. Last week, I had to go out of town to attend a friend's funeral without my husband. He said he wanted to stay with my sister to make sure she's okay. I returned home the next day and didn't find her or her baby home. My husband said he contacted a friend in another town and wanted to move in with them. What? In with them? What do you mean? Okay, anyway. And left that
moving on.
morning. He handed me a letter he claimed was from her. This felt so odd, especially after reading the letter. I called her phone many times, but turned out my husband found it and said she must have left it behind. I was worried I had no means of contacting her to make sure she was okay. I contacted relatives, but they knew nothing. Yesterday, I got a call from an unknown number and it was her. We talked and she told me that she didn't leave on her own, but my husband kicked her out after telling her that she was no longer welcome and she needed to take responsibility for her decisions. I was in shock as she explained that she's not with a friend but at a shelter and she has no money. I waited till he got home and I blew up at him.
Hmm.
He admitted he faked the letter and hid her phone and then argued that it's his house too and he has a say, but he shouldn't have lied to me about my sister and causing her to be homeless. I said I was he said I was being unfair and wrong to lash out at him for wanting peace in his home. I went upstairs and refused to agree and argue anymore. That would have changed the meaning a lot. Argue anymore. I told him I'm going to pick her up tomorrow, and he said he'd change the locks while I'm gone, and I won't be allowed to bring her home. I'm thinking of going to a hotel, but he kept saying that I'm letting my sister affect our lives by prioritizing her. But there's a baby involved, my nephew, and I can't leave him homeless. I get that it's his house too, but I don't see why he's so against her staying.
Discussion.
Once again, this is really funny.
Once again, this would never happen to the two of us.
Yeah, once like, personally, I would not allow this to happen, but
Yeah.
that's just me personally.
Personally, I'm an 18-year-old in college, and this would not happen to me.
And she's, like, she's literally 20, so, like, what if it could happen to me? Like, what do you mean
Why are
she's
you
only
getting
20?
married at 20?
No, right?
This isn't the 1950s. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I
Exactly, we're
guess.
not judging,
We're
we're
not
just
judging.
questioning.
Yeah. Um, but he's a little crazy.
Yeah,
First of
like,
all, like
homeless?
faking a letter and then taking her phone, like that's next level. That's like you, like on Netflix, like
Yeah,
what's his name, Joe?
yeah, like, "Hey, you."
That's literally what this is right here. And then threatening to change the locks so that she couldn't come into the house. Um,
Personally, that would never happen to me. I would not allow that to happen.
Personally, if I had a husband and this situation happened again, um, and I come home and the locks have changed, I there will simply be no door by the time I'm done. It will just simply be gone.
There's just gonna be a hole.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting into the house. If, like, my stuff is, like, in the house,
I'm taking it and then
I'm
burning
yeah.
his stuff.
Exactly. I think that's the only appropriate response.
I agree. Is it time to find a new
I
post?
think it's time to find
Okay.
a new
Okay,
post
ladies and gentlemen, we're back at that intermission.
of finding a new post.
So, how's everyone's day going?
I just got this, ad, of a pug in a, Stitch costume, and it's very funny. Sorry, listeners, you can't see it.
It's only for us.
It's only for us, and then wait, where is it? The 0 people watching on YouTube.
Is it actually 0?
It says 1.
Okay, whoever that one person is, I hope you're having a splendid day.
Whoever the
I
one
hope
person
everything goes your
is,
way.
I hope you're having a fantastic, time of day. I hope your pillow is cold tonight. I hope your charger works at all angles. I hope you wake up in the morning and your hair is spectacular, and I hope that if you're bald, you look like Mr. Clean. Like
I hope your 9 a.m.s get canceled and you can sleep in.
yeah.
I wish that happened to me, but it didn't.
Oh, that one is not readable.
I might know I might know which one you're talking about.
It's just not readable. Um,
So how did everyone's day go? Mine personally was a train wreck.
oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I really wish that 9 a.m. got canceled because I had a quiz in it. And we went over the quiz after. Did not make me feel good about my future.
My 11 a.m. got canceled, so that was great for me. My
Oh.
9:30 a.m. didn't.
Oh.
Yeah. This is hard to find one that's like,
Readable, but also
readable.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, another one that says blowing up on my husband. Why are we blowing up on our husbands?
The husbands are just bad. I think that's like, why are so many of these like my husband and his mom? Oh, you know how there's like the category underneath where it like says whether it's been determined whether the
Yeah,
person was a bad person or not?
yeah.
I just found one that like has given the stamp of approval of this person was a bad person. So I think we should read it.
Me too.
Um if it's bad, we will swap to another one.
Send the link.
Okay. Oh, I just airdropped it to you instead of
That's
texting it.
oh my.
I hit the wrong button. Did you get it though?
Yes.
Love that. Okay. So this is fun. Am I the bad person for telling my daughter to get over herself? So right off the bat, it's pretty generic.
You probably are the bad person.
Probably. Okay. Oh, wow. This is already rough sounding. It's also very short. Um That's my chair squeaking. I was blessed with 3 beautiful children, and unfortunately, my eldest, Brooke, passed away when she was 5 years old. It rocked my world, and I know I haven't been the same since. I went through therapy and still attended to this day, but a part of me died too. I will never let my daughter be forgotten. I bring her pictures to events such as holiday celebrations and birthdays. I talk about her all the time. Every year on my living children's birthdays, I think of her and how her once young siblings are now older than her. My daughter, Marnie?
Marnie.
It's
That's a great name.
a great name for your daughter. If anybody's watching this and your name is Marnie, I I'm so sorry.
Apologies.
Apologies. Um, my daughter Marnie is getting married next month. I asked her if she was having a memorial table, and she said no. I asked her about creating a seat for her sister who passed, and she should be a part of the day. Marnie told me no. For once, she wants a day about her. She says she couldn't have one event that wasn't about Brooke, even her graduation. I had to put a picture of her on the seat. She said I needed to stop making my grief front stage. I told her she was being incredibly selfish, and until she goes through a loss like this, she'll never understand. Marnie asked me if her kids would have to live under the shadow of Brooke too. I told her she should be ashamed and to get over herself. My son says I'm being terrible and I need to reevaluate my life. Am I the bad person? This one's interesting.
Yeah, I don't really feel strongly either way about this one.
Yeah, cuz it's like I I get the like Marnie being like, "Oh, you've made everything about my dead sister." Cuz like mentioning it on all of their birthdays, cuz like the mom says that she mentioned uh the past like sister on all of their birthdays like every year. And I get like the being upset about that. But on the other hand, I mean, is putting up a seat for your dead sister at your wedding that big of a deal? I don't know.
Um, kind of neutral about this one.
Yeah, I think the mom is definitely not like in the right here.
Yeah.
Cuz like I don't know. But also the siblings don't really have any like connection
Oh,
to the
that's
sister
true.
because she died when she was 5. And if she's the oldest, then
Yeah.
it's not like they feel like, "Oh my god,
Like,
my sister died." Like if my sister died now, shout out to my sister, she's 28. But if she died now, I would be upset. But that's because I spent like 18 years of my life with her. But like if she died when she was 5, I would not have known her. So like would it be that bad? I don't know. This is definitely a unresolved.
yeah,
You could or could not be
the bad
the very
person.
bad person. James, I
Okay.
think it's up to you to find one now.
Yeah. Back at our intermission.
Back at our intermission. I don't know what to say during the intermission. Maybe I just give like fun facts. Um, fun fact number 1. The room that we're sitting in right now is green. Fun fact number 2. James is wearing slides.
Thank you.
Fun fact number 3. I
This one is wait.
you
Okay. Wait, us.
us the two of us.
Okay, this one is very relevant. To the two of us.
Yeah, because fun fact number 4 or 5, me and James both have bangs.
Okay. Am I the bad person for showing my missing eye to the new teacher after he told me my bangs are disrespectful?
Wait, send it to me. I don't have it.
Oh, yeah.
I have to be able to read this in real time.
I'm airdropping it to you.
Oh, perfect. I love that. I love when I get airdropped Reddit links.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. I had an accident when I was a baby and I lost my left eye. I don't have an eye socket. I could put a fake eye in. It's just some normal skin and scars on a big patch of my face. They reconstructed my face with a later surgery this way. The right side and bottom half of my face is completely normal. I have big side bangs that hang off the left side of my face so I don't freak anyone out and I don't get weird looks. I've been going to the same school since I was 5, so the teachers and the kids know about it. We got a new teacher this week. He started by asking us to go around and introduce ourselves. When it got to me, he was rude and asked me, "Do your parents know you come to school looking like this? It's extremely disrespectful. Fix your bangs. I want to see your face." So I obeyed and tucked my bangs behind my ear, showing him the left side of my face. He gasped. His face turned red. My classmates laughed and told me that I can let my bangs down. Later that day, my head teacher, I don't know what that means.
Like maybe like a homeroom teacher.
Okay.
Unless
Came,
this is like Hogwarts and you have like a head teacher.
maybe.
I don't know. I've
My
never seen Harry
head
Potter.
teacher came to me to scold me. She told me I was wrong to quote unquote shock the new teacher and I should have just told him about it. Did I do anything wrong? I just obeyed his orders. It's not my fault he ended up not wanting to look at my face. Am I the bad person?
Um, no.
No.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
In fact, if that was me, I quite literally would have taken my eye out and then like put my finger in my eye. Like I would be that kind of person. I would ruin someone's day.
Maybe life.
Yeah, I would scar them
Yeah.
emotionally
And physically.
and physically if it came to that. But like, you know, being told that your bangs are disrespectful, like
It's just my hair, bro.
yeah,
Why
it's
do you care so
just the
much?
hair.
Like, why do you care so much?
If I was told that, I think I'd walk into school the next day with a mohawk.
Once again, I would feel very violent if that
Yeah,
happened.
I think I think the school would just cease to exist. I think the teacher would be fired. I have tried to get a teacher fired before, fun fact. It didn't work.
I did get a teacher fired.
Jealous. Shout out to my high school teacher that I attempted to get fired. You still work there and you made my life awful, but I hope I made yours just as awful as you made mine. Um, would say love you, but I don't. Fun fact. Hated that teacher. With love and respect.
I got my middle school music teacher fired. I don't want to add any details. I just want to leave it at that.
There's no need for any more details.
Do we have time for another?
I don't know. We have I can't do math. 7 minutes. I think that's enough time.
Okay.
I should just like scroll really fast and pick a random one.
Yeah.
I just want to find one that's like
Welcome back to our intermission. Um I'm
give
gonna
some fun facts.
I'm gonna get back on about my day because I love complaining. So after my quiz in my first class, I had a test in my second class, which was great, which I thought I was prepared for it. I wasn't. And it was on Blackboard. So after you submit the test, you can see your score. Now, I didn't want my day to be ruined, but but it was. We will not be sharing what the score was because we just won't be. But I just want everyone listening to know that it ruins my day, and I am now unhappy.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Like, I could have waited a week to find out the score. You don't have to tell me right away.
Yeah. None of these are interesting. These people have very boring lives on Reddit. But that's not surprising. People on Reddit need to
Get off Reddit
get off Reddit.
and touch some
If
grass.
you spend this is a PSA from me and James. If you spend more than an hour on Reddit a day, the counseling center is open.
Exactly.
Um,
I don't think we have time anymore.
I don't think we have time because none of these are good. Oh, please tell me we have enough time to read this one.
Do it quick.
It just okay.
Just don't send it to me.
It's really like it's kind of long, but I just at least want to read the title. Am I a bad person for saying I prefer sushi to children?
What? To children?
To children. Now, Um, like, just the concept of sushi to children, or are we talking, like, eating wise? Because I think I also prefer sushi to cannibalism.
Oh,
Thoughts?
oh, that's what. Um,
I don't think that's what it means,
I would
but
also prefer eating sushi to eating children.
yeah.
I don't think that makes you a bad person. So no, you're not the bad
So, no, you're
person.
not the bad person. I think we should just judge these, like, for the last, like, 5 minutes just on the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna, like,
Am I the
rapid fire
I have
this.
one. Am I the bad person for telling my ex his lack of money is not my issue?
No.
No.
Um, am I a bad person for leaving a bad review on a small store? No. If they suck, they suck. They deserve to know.
No.
Um, am I a bad person for giving the PS5 my husband bought to my nephew? If he spends more
Probably.
time on the PS5 more than he pays attention to you, no. But if he doesn't and it's just his, then you are the bad person.
Am I the bad person for wanting to tell my brother's fiance about the tracking app he secretly installed in the new phone he bought for her?
Um,
Definitely not.
no.
Some of these I feel like they're just asking so they can get like a oh no, you're a good person, like a pat on the back. Like you know you're not
Yeah.
the bad person.
Am I a bad person for singing a song to my wife at our wedding and making her angry? Um, it depends. What is the song?
Yeah.
Um, hold up. Let me like no, looking a quick glance at it, you are not the bad person. She is just not a lover of good music,
Okay,
clearly.
we should probably like
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up now. This has been the end of mine and James's
Downward spiral.
downward spiral prototype podcast of us probably annoying you for an hour. If you're annoyed, we succeeded. If you're not,
We'll
um,
try again next
we'll
time.
try again next week if our special co-host James is here. If not, it'll just be me.
Because I do have a class now. It just got canceled today. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Um, you might just have to call in sick next week
Mm-hmm.
for your class and just say, "Oh, professor, I'm sick."
Luckily the teacher cancels class like more than we have class, so I'll probably be here.
Yeah, so chances of James being here likely. If he's not here, it'll just be me, and maybe we'll be reading from a different subreddit. One that is PG family friendly Disney Mickey Mouse.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So that's the end. If you hated it, good. I'm
Thank you.
glad. Uh love that. Well,
Thank you to our one viewer on YouTube.
yeah, thank you to our one viewer who's still there. Shout out to
We
you.
love
We
you.
love you. We're gonna get shirts made for you. It's gonna have mine and James's face on it.
We love you.
Yeah, all right. This is us saying bye, and we
Bye.
hope the rest of your day is good. Unless you're a bad person, then we hope it's mediocre.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit less than mediocre.
Yeah, I hope your pillow is warm.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. Bye.